Deadpool 2 features Marvel's first ever big screen explicitly queer superhero. Hell yes, we did it! It's time to celebrate! Where's the party hats? Yes, the wonderfully named superhero and my new favorite character, Negasonic Teenage Warhead, is confirmed to be gay in the rated R superhero sequel. Yet, why did it take so long for us to have a big screen queer superhero? It's time to nerd out. Hollywood has always been reticent about putting queer characters in big movies. This hasn't changed even in recent Hollywood history with the rise of the giant blockbuster franchise like Star Wars, James Bond, or even more recently, superhero films like Marvel Studios' Marvel Cinematic Universe. Despite fans asking for queer representation, studios have largely turned a blind eye, such as with not acknowledging the obvious romantic tension between Finn and Poe in the Star Wars movies. I mean, come on, those two are obviously in love with each other. Alright, fine, Kelly Tran is cool, I guess. Sometimes they do. Star Trek Beyond had a blink and you'll miss it call out to Sulu being gay as an homage to George Takei, and Power Rangers is one of the few superhero-esque movies to feature a queer main character. But largely, Hollywood has steered clear of including queer characters in big screen franchises. And it's not like queer people can't work in big franchises. On TV, the CW's Arrowverse has proven that queer superheroes are just as badass as their straight counterparts. And Star Trek Discovery showed that you can have an emotional queer storyline. Yet these storylines don't seem to ever translate to film. One reason for this is China. Since allowing in US movies, China's film market has grown to be the second largest in the world. Studios can make a ton of money by selling their films in China, and movies that bombed in the US can find a second life in China's market. Heck, that's why we got a Pacific Rim sequel recently, despite the fact that the first one bombed in the US. It did amazingly well in China. Yet, China has a stringent censorship policy. The Chinese government can refuse to air certain movies for numerous reasons. Heck, they wouldn't screen the recent Ghostbusters movie because it featured ghosts, and not because the movie was just terrible. Apologies to Kate McKinnon. Queerness is a taboo topic in China. China even recently attempted to ban LGBT sites in their country, so many studios try to avoid including queer characters to avoid being banned in China. That's why the recent Marvel Studios movie Thor Ragnarok didn't make Tessa Thompson's character overtly bisexual within the movie itself, despite the star confirming the character's sexuality on social media. And this is one of the reasons that Deadpool has been able to include a queer character. Star Ryan Reynolds has openly called for Deadpool to be portrayed as pansexual as he is in the comics, because the movie's already banned in China for its crass humor. So there's no real reason why the franchise couldn't include a queer character.
He sort of exhibits these qualities throughout the course of each film. He's a, he's a guy that's sort of unpredictable, and like I say, he's a little bit fluid, I think.
Yet China doesn't explicitly stop Marvel Studios from including explicitly queer characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And yet, despite the closeted character in Thor Ragnarok, there is yet to be a queer character in the franchise. When asked if we will see a queer character in the MCU, Marvel Studios head Kevin Feige said that we would, at some point in the next 10 years. Well, it's already been 3 years since he made that statement, so fingers crossed he gets on it. And it's not like they haven't had opportunity. The Black Panther movie featured a character who was gay in the comics during queer writer Roxane Gay's run. And yet, the writer of the movie stated that while they discussed including the storyline, they ultimately didn't because he had a, quote, brain fart. That's an actual quote there, people. A brain fart. But wait, maybe there are already gay characters in the MCU, at least according to Guardians of the Galaxy director James Gunn. Gunn was asked if there were any gay characters in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, to which he replied, "Absolutely, I would love to be able to. We might have already done that. I say watch the movie, check it out, see what you think." See what you think? What does that even mean? Is it like a queer scavenger hunt? Go find the gay characters, everybody! In another interview, Gunn clarified, "There are a lot of gay people in the world. There are a lot of bisexual people in the world. There are a lot of characters in the MCU. We've barely gotten to know the sexuality of any of those characters." So basically what he's saying is, anyone might be gay. That guy might be gay. Or that guy. Or that girl. Or maybe that dude. They could all be gay. Or not. We don't know. Honestly, that explanation is insulting and belittling of the need to have explicitly queer characters on screen. But at the end of the day, it really just comes down to the fact that Hollywood is worried about money. By including explicit queer characters in a big budget film, Hollywood believes they run the risk of losing money, not only in China, but here within the United States. When Disney said that the Beauty and the Beast movie would have a gay character, many people called for a boycott of that film. How dare a wholesome family film have a dangerous queer character in it? It'll ruin the kids! Would a gay character hurt the movie's bottom line? Of course not. The movie went on to be one of the most successful movies of all time, so clearly having a queer character didn't hurt the box office. So come on, Hollywood. I and a lot of people I know would literally throw money at our favorite franchises if they included queer characters. Now, excuse me, I'm gonna go buy 20 tickets to the next Deadpool 2 screening. Go Negasonic Teenage Warhead.